Nautical Tales and Nature Trails, Recreation in Southeastern Connecticut and Southern Rhode Island, is pleased to welcome you to another fun-filled episode. Enjoy the show.
Ahoy there, and welcome to Nautical Tales and Nature Trails, Recreation in Southeastern Connecticut and Southern Rhode Island. My name is Will Morrissey. I'm the host of the show. My wife is the producer. That's Bridget Morrissey. She spends her time racing up and down the coast from Old Lyme to Charlestown, from zigzagging from Mystic to Mashantucket to Uncasville, helping people find their dream home. And she always drives the back roads because she hates driving on I-95, but can you blame her? But when she's doing that, she finds all these different places that people can visit, and you probably don't know about it. So Bridget and I wrote this book, Nautical Tales and Nature Trails, full of information about all the different activities in the area, because we have so many new people coming in, whether they're building the submarines or they're the brave souls that drive the submarines. We've got students over at Conn College, Mitchell College, at the Yukon at Avery Point, the cadets at the United States Coast Guard Academy, plus all the people moving into town. And so we just want you to know that there's a lot to do in the area. And today we're going to be spending a little bit of time in Mystic, and we've got State Senator Heather Summers here with us. Hi.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. And we've got the president of the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce, Bruce Flax.
Hello.
Hi, Bruce.
Hi.
Heather, I've got a couple things we want to talk about. We'll get to you, Bruce, in just a couple minutes about the Mystic Outdoor Art Festival, a big event that's coming to Mystic. But let's talk a little bit about what's going on up in Hartford as far as what it pertains to recreation in the area. I'm going to put you on the spot just a little bit, and say a little story first. If you throw, it's a story. They used to call it a parable, but you throw seed on a pathway, and the birds come and take all the seed. You throw seed on rocky terrain, and it'll grow real fast, but it'll wither because the sun gets to it. If you throw it in amongst weeds and thorns, it'll get choked out. But if you throw it on good, fertile land, you get a return. Okay, and so the moral of the story, you've got to ask the question, how is your dirt? Okay, so dirt meaning the foundation of what's going on. And I understand you've got, your degree is in economics, isn't it?
It is, economics and finance.
Okay, and you got a nice plug from the Connecticut Business and Industry group a couple sessions ago, 100%, I think they gave you?
I think I get that every year.
Every year. So you know economics. You know how the economy works and everything. And so if the business and industry are touting you, then everybody knows that you're into, know what's going on as far as the economy goes. But you like to feed the cat. And I'm talking about culture, arts, and tourism.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us how putting $1 into the budget gives us a great return?
Sure, absolutely, I'd be happy to. So I just want to say that just being business friendly does not mean that you discard all the wonderful things that we have as far as the environment. I think of open space as an economic tool. I think of the environment, all the things that we have to offer that Bruce so eloquently highlights along our shoreline. They're all economic drivers, and we are blessed to live in this beautiful community with a coastline that's really unmatched anywhere else in I say, the country. And all those things, tourism, people visiting, whether they're staying in a hotel and they're spending money, going to the seaport, going to the aquarium, visiting one of our exquisite restaurants that we have. We're like a foodie capital here in the Mystic area. Every dollar that we spend at the state level to promote tourism, to promote people coming to our state and spending their money in our state is a $9 return to us. And that's been proven mathematically. That's not a guess. That is a proven fact that for every dollar that Connecticut spends, we'll get $9, and it's within the next year. I always joke and say, but it's not really a joke, if we had taken our pensions and invested it in tourism, we would be flush with cash. And so many of our surrounding states have the foresight to invest more in tourism, whether it even be little state of Rhode Island invests way more than we do in tourism. New York has surpassed us by 8 times. Massachusetts. So we're not really competitive with our surrounding states, which is a problem. And myself, along with John Michael Parker, who's the co-chair of a tourism caucus that we have, along with many members, have been advocating the administration that tourism is an economic driver. And we can see that by how much money is taken out of our initial community and sent to the state of Connecticut, and the return that they see. Just to give you an example, years ago we passed a law that added a 1% tax to meals. It's a meals tax. So if you go out to dinner, 1% is added to your bill. You probably don't even notice it. That has generated over $100 million to the state of Connecticut. So one of the ideas that we had was, let's take a percentage of that meals tax money and we're going to reinvest it back into tourism. So if we take 25 million or 50 million of that 100 million and we give the other 50 million back to the municipality in which that meal was purchased, so the municipalities win and tourism wins, that would be a great way to have a sustainable plan for funding our tourism. Unfortunately, that was not accepted by the administration. I think we have work to do to get the administration to recognize that tourism is an economic factor and a player, and a big one, especially in this industry, and that every community has some form of tourism. I think people are a little tired of hearing about Mystic, but if you live in Litchfield, you have the beautiful rolling hills. If you live in Kent, you have the Kent Falls. If you live in the middle of the state, you may have something else. Every single town has something to offer for somebody to visit, and that's something that we have to really plug here in Connecticut. And Connecticut has such diversity. There's so many different things to do. You have the shoreline with sailing and recreation and wonderful seafood, and you go up north and you have balloon fests and jazz fests and historic homes. There's so much within 2 hours drive. If you're on 95, it might take you a little bit longer, unfortunately, but we have so much to offer in this really small state. And we are going to continue in our focus to promote that as much as we can. But tourism is a huge economic driver.
Well, we have a video that starts off with you and John Michael Parker. Michael, if you could run that. So this is just this year, isn't it?
It is, and we had, it was the first year that we had Tourism Day at the Capitol. It was the biggest day that the Capitol has seen. It was packed from point A to point B, and I have to thank my aide Mariah, who did all the work organizing it. She did a great job. And that, what you're seeing there, was a letter that we wrote to the administration with all the signatures from legislators asking for a true investment in tourism and how important it was.
It looked like you started off with a John Hancock,
Yeah,
a big signature there, huh?
Yeah. So, the governor did come by and visit. He didn't want to speak. I don't think he wanted to be put on the spot. But it was a great showing, and it really showcased so many different things. It wasn't just Mystic. Mystic had a very strong presence because Mystic.
Truck was there.
The truck was there. The truck was amazing. Bruce came with a truck, and it showcased the Mitchell Barn.
Mission College, Michael's ice cream. Michael's Dairy.
I remember the flavors, raspberry and coconut.
Yeah.
It was a hit. And then we also had, venues from all over the state of Connecticut. The aquarium came. So it was a really good, for a first event, it was packed. Everybody in the building was saying, we've never had this kind of support or this kind of outcry here of people showing up to promote tourism. And I think of anybody, you think about how you invest your money. If you could spend $100 and get $900 in the next year, it's a pretty awesome investment.
I'd be there.
Yes, exactly. So there's no other industry that can do that. And we've seen other states, like the state of New York, for example, made a deal with their legislator saying, we'll give you $25 million, you show us the return, we'll split it with you. And now they're up to like over $100 million that they're spending in investment in tourism. And we're in an expensive market, so we're going to spend $17 million this year, which is a drop in the bucket. But we're in the market between New York and Boston, which is one of the most expensive markets to advertise. So we have our work to do and work to cut out for us, but you have great passion in the people that are there to make sure that tourism is.
I mean, we just saw the video about all the different things, not all, but some of the different things in this particular area. I mean, you mentioned Litchfield and Northeast Connecticut, but we're blessed. We're blessed in this area with how much we have to offer people.
Well, I just think of my district even. I mean, I love the idea of your book, but I have a very large geographical district, and I have the shoreline, which includes all the wonderful things that Bruce is doing, and the chamber is just killing it. I mean, I keep saying there's no other senator that is going to 5 ribbon cuttings a week. It's crazy. You know, it's crazy and it's good and it's busy and there's this great sort of camaraderie and this sense of almost like being this fun, you know, these great things are happening. And then you go up north in my district and you have a different kind of beauty. You have the Patchogue State Forest, which I really didn't know very much about 12 years ago. And it is the largest state forest in Connecticut. It was the first state forest nationally. It is huge, and you can horseback ride. There are gorgeous lakes. There are hiking trails. When you're there, it's an oasis. It's unbelievable, and it's 30 minutes away, and many people here don't even know it exists. So there's so much to do, even just within 60 minutes or 35 minutes in our area. We are so blessed to have so many different things to be able to do.
Well, there are a lot of things that happen in the summer, and one of the big ones coming up has got to be the Mystic Outdoor Art Festival.
For sure. This year it's the 67th. It's August 9th and 10th, downtown Mystic. 5 years ago when I took over the chamber, we changed the route. So it was on Route 1, which was a little dangerous. And so now it follows Cottrell to Holmes, then Bay Street into the Seaport. And
well, wait a minute, it goes by the brand new chamber office too.
It goes
right?
by the commander right in front of the engine room. That's right. Thank you, Will. And yeah, we're sold out this year. 200 and around 35 artists, 270 booths total. We also started the performing arts aspect of it. So this year in Mystic River Park on Saturday from 11 to 5 will be acts for children. Like family oriented, and then at night there's a whole production show from 6:30 to 9 of all different local, one of the things we're trying to do, I've done in the chamber, is an arts arm. So we've got the Guard Arts, the United, the Granite, the Iverton, Goodspeed just joined, and we're inviting these artistic places to produce or sponsor performers in the show. And so it's a huge variety of acts, including the recently named Stonington Poet Laureate. I think she'll be doing a reading. And it just adds another dimension to the art festival.
Now, will that be in Mystic River Park?
It's in Mystic River Park, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And then from the artist standpoint, just every kind of medium you can imagine. It is a juried art show. And it did win the Boston Magazine New England Tourism Award, Best Outdoor Art Show in New England last year.
That's great.
So
that's a big deal.
Yeah, no, it's great. And we didn't even know that they were looking. We didn't write anything. They knew of us, and we won. So that's really nice.
67th. I mean, I think if I remember correctly, it was Washington Park in New York City that they kind of modeled the first one after so long ago. And but it's really, really grown. And Michael, we have a little video on the art festival. Can we run that, please? So this is your logo.
Yes, and that's Rita Rivera, who's Pop and Art, or Love and Pop Art, Love and Pop. And she's a Niantic, and she does a lot of work for us. She's super nice to the community. And I know she does some stuff for New London. She does some stuff. I think she does some of the buoys for the buoy tree and the Ocean Chamber. Just wonderful. So we really appreciate her, all she's done for us. She helps us whenever we need to, and she created that logo.
I'm going to do a little plug for the Mystic Arts Festival. It's something that myself and some of my staff volunteer at every year. It's a lot of fun to volunteer. It's a great way to get involved and to see the show. So I think you're still looking for volunteers.
We are, thank you.
Yeah,
Heather,
so please
awesome.
sign up. Go to
mysticchamber.org,
and you can sign up to volunteer, and you get a cool T-shirt. And
this year the color is violet.
Thank you. Last year I didn't like the color.
Colored T-shirt.
It was like yellow.
So we'll have a limited amount of violet tie-dye shirts available for sale.
I love that.
So,
yes. It's a really great time.
You can go to these booths and actually talk to the artist.
Absolutely.
I mean, they love telling you how they did it, what got them into it, and here's your award winners from last year.
Yeah, so we are a juried art show, and we do a number of awards. This year there'll be over $7,000 in prizes awarded.
That's awesome. I will say too, I think it's really changed since you made the decision to change the location. It's so much more open.
Yeah.
You're not fighting amongst the retailers that are along Main Street. There's still plenty of time to go into all the shops as you are
Yeah, they're more
visiting.
open for sale. One of the things we started last year, which you'll see again this year, we encourage everybody to download the Go Mystic app, which has all this information about Mystic and our members and where to go, and of course there's information about the art festival. Members will be offering people who come to the art show specials on that weekend, and they'll all be listed in the app. So it might be if you're at the art show that weekend, you get 10% off a meal or whatever it may be. So keep your eyes open for that. And again, it's trying to include the business community into the art festival and make everybody a part of it.
You've got nonprofits that are selling food too. You've got the Boy Scouts,
We do.
and the Girl
Yeah.
Scouts,
And they've been doing it forever. So the Boy Scouts are coming, the Knights of Columbus, and Groton Rotary. So last year, the Groton Rotary, we allowed them to use the Traveling Visitor Center, and they sold ice cream and water and stuff out of it. They'll be doing that again this year.
here's some of your volunteers.
That's right.
That
There
was
you go.
last year's color.
Yeah. You didn't like the yellow, huh?
I liked the pink or the blue.
So, yeah, we could, like, that showcases the sponsors. We couldn't do it without them. You know, the art festival is free to the public, and but it is the
Now here's what I want to tell you about.
yeah, you
2005 was my first shirt when I volunteered, and the 62nd was just before COVID, was the last time
Yeah.
I volunteered. We got a little busy with the real estate, so I haven't
Yes.
been able to,
Well, we
haven't
gotta get
really
you
been
back.
able to volunteer as much as I used to, but I tell people every time we do the show that the nonprofits need the volunteers. And I'm not just telling you to go out and volunteer and I didn't do it, I want you to do it. No, I've volunteered for a lot of different things, and it makes a difference for all these nonprofit organizations. They need help from sponsors, but they also need help to run the thing. So, you have a crew that
Absolutely.
volunteers, you get a lot of different volunteers, and it makes things happen.
It also, I appreciate that. Well, it also, it involves your community. So the people who live here, and they become a part of it, and we get a lot of artists who say to us after the fact, I love the show, I love how helpful your volunteers are, how much they care about what they're doing and care about their community. And it's a nice way to show that to people who might be visiting Mystic for the show or whatever. So.
Well, 20 years ago, I think I was riding around on the back of the golf carts picking up the garbage at the end
Everybody
of it.
wants that job, the golf cart one,
yeah.
right?
But we got everything cleaned up right away,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
back to normal. But there's so many different jobs that
are.
need to be done.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You can
and-
join myself and Mariah. We're going to be there early morning. I think it's at 6:30 or 6 a.m. setting up.
Yeah.
And you get
Oh,
to
I
meet
remember
the
doing
artists.
the chalk lines on.
Yep.
Yep. We do that Friday morning at 6,
Yep.
and we mark them all. Last year it rained on that morning. We had to figure out how to keep the markings or the tape down or whatever. So never a dull moment.
No, but it works out well. And then, how many people show up?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So if it's nice weather, there'll be 25,000 a day. Again, 50,000 plus for the weekend.
I mean, that's a huge event.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the bigger ones in the whole area.
Yeah.
I mean, you may have gotten more for the fireworks over at Sailfest in past years, but
Maybe. Yeah, I'm sure they did. And, but I think also, with the crowds and the large crowd, we're very appreciative of the Stonington Police and the Groton Police who keep everybody safe and keep us lined up. And so we work very closely with them to make sure that everything's right and there's a police presence downtown.
yeah. And I also like the way you incorporated Mystic Seaport into the walk. Into the.
Yeah, that's been a huge. We really couldn't have done it without Peter, who's president, who's leaving right now, and Shannon, who's on our board, and Sarah. They're so great. The Seaport in just a community partner, and we have 75 booths in the Seaport. That's a lot, and they have to clean up the yard in order to do it. And but we coordinate with them, and they're just instrumental in making the new route a success.
And as far as the volunteers go, I mean, we got a state senator that's involved here, right? But I remember Arlene coming over from the Whalers Inn and running things,
Yeah.
at the pre-meetings that we would have at the Mystic Art Association, the Museum of Art.
Yeah.
And you get top-ranking folks that want to volunteer and want to be a part of it.
Yes, and it has a storied history. The art festival, a lot of prominent Mystic residents, long line of them, have been a part of it, either part of the committee, ran it, volunteered. So yeah, it's 67 years is a long time.
That is a long time.
We have another video, and it got mentioned with the ice cream.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
You know,
ice cream
if we
truck.
can run that
Yeah.
one, Michael. So chasing volunteers still.
Yes, always.
You know, always you can just go to this QR code and bring up the information that you need to sign up, or you can just go onto mysticchamber.org
Yes.
and get there. But we want to show you a little bit about the truck that you got for.
Yeah,
for
so the
this
truck,
year.
we got money from Stonington and Groton during COVID because we lost our visitor center that was across from the seaport. We couldn't afford it, and had the idea to get a truck with character and like have it be an ice cream truck too, but promote the region, and that's what we've done. That was the artist Abby Park who did the artistry in the map for us. But it's been a huge. We had a couple years to develop it, and now we have a park downtown, and so that volunteers are. We invite really anybody, but also chamber members to come down and be in the truck.
You got some events coming up.
Groton City Brew Run is the 5th year. It continues to grow. That's September 6th. And then the Tarzan Brown, it's the 50th anniversary of the Tarzan Brown, and that's November 2nd. And we took that over from the YMCA a couple years ago. And then arguably the biggest one-day event in Mystic is Santa Arrives by Tugboat and the Christmas tree lighting and the lighted boat parade. And that is no fireworks for the lighted boat parade, but a lot of lighted boats. It's really fun.
It's amazing. People come from all over to see it, and there's really nothing like it.
No, and then our party at 12 is our Community and Tourism Awards and party, a year-end party. And we may have a big announcement about that shortly.
Great.
So it's pretty exciting what's going to happen with that. So.
Now, the Chamber has done a wonderful job, and you know, I mentioned all the different things that Bridget and I have been involved with. I mean, Bridget, she's been in it for a lot longer than I have, but you do so much for the area. I mean, it was nice going back to Linnea Lindstrom and Trish and Bill Smith, and you know, all through, you know, all the different presidents. But you've really changed what the Chamber's vision and goals are, you know, and you're to be commended, Bruce. I mean,
Thank you.
Yeah,
you've
good
done
job.
a wonderful job, you know.
Well, we definitely, you know, I came from Foxwoods in the entertainment department and just had the opportunity here to kind of not have as much chamber experience. So we were able to kick the chamber on its side a little bit and do some new things. But to be honest, we couldn't do it without the support of the community, without the support of Heather. She's been super supportive in terms of how the state deals with us and what she's been able to get us. We continue to try to think outside the box and do things that are that really take into consideration and respect the business community and the local community, and try to create things that are new and unique and beneficial.
Well, I've been around long enough to see the Chamber be in, I don't know, 5 different locations now.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
It's and everyone that's run the Chamber has really pushed it in a good direction.
Yeah.
You know, so but the direction it's going in right now, to be recognized as the art festival in New England.
Yeah.
You know, that's a big deal.
No, thanks.
you know,
And I think that, you know, we're looking at it more globally in terms of southeastern Connecticut. So you know, the truck frames us Misquamicut to Niantic, and we're saying to people, southeastern Connecticut from exit 74 to 92 is so robust, and there's so much to do. So instead of coming to Mystic for a night or two, why don't you come for 7 days and use Mystic as your base and go out and see all the things that southeastern Connecticut and really even the northeast corner have to offer, right. And trying to frame it that way. And it's been very successful. We're getting engagement in Niantic and Westernly and Misquamicut. You know,
I just saw on the influencers on Instagram yesterday, and they were talking about, what do you do in Mystic for 3 days? And they were staying in Niantic. They went to Niantic. They did some other things, and they came to Mystic for the day, and they went other places. So, you know, we try to say, Mystic is not just a day. Like Southeastern Connecticut is like, it's a vacation. You could stay for 5 days. There's so much to offer here. And, Bruce should be commended. I think we had these great people to start the Arts Festival and to, get it off the ground and running. And then, through all the trials and tribulations after COVID, Bruce took it over and just really taken it to a different trajectory with arts and culture also combined. That's one of the big things for tourism. It's tourism, arts, and culture, and I think he's done a really good job of incorporating all that. And if you're a business out there that is not a member, now's the time to join because there's so much happening.
Yeah.
There's so much exposure. Even just having the idea that the Seaport under new leadership with Peter was willing to open their doors to have and to be able to host the Arts Festival was brand new. So, it's one of those things where, what do they say, like, the rising tide lifts all boats, and you've done a really good job at that. So there's still time. You can always join, whether you're a wind farm company or a bank or a bakery.
Yeah.
Come join the Mystic Chamber because that's where it's happening.
Oh, there's a lot of different
you're
things
hired.
going on. You know how to promote.
The chamber, like the 5 things videos and the Community Proud and the app that we have.
Well, even this morning, I mean, you do these ribbon cuttings, you do business before hours, business after hours. Those are regular events that are happening every month.
Yes.
And it's wonderful just to get together. I mean, I met so many new people this morning.
Yeah.
At the business before hours and learned some history about Mystic and to go along with that. So I mean, it's the chamber offers an awful lot. It's not just pay dues and get your name on a website.
Yeah, no, we fully believe that, and couldn't do it without the team. Megan's our membership manager.
She's
Kaylee
great.
does our social, and Isaiah does event coordinating. So I couldn't do it without the whole team.
No, you have a good team.
Yeah, sure.
And they, everything you do on Facebook, and we were just laughing a little bit ago about the 5 things to do.
Yeah.
But every week there's 5 great
There's 5
things
things to do every minute.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
And you've got good sponsors. So
No, we do. We have good people in place and a lot of support. So.
I think one of the biggest compliments for your 5 things to do is the fact that the state tourism office kind of stole that idea.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
like 5 things to do in Connecticut.
We could go on and on, but this show goes by so fast. I have to thank both of you for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
I mean,
This
the
is
half
great.
hour just flies by.
Yeah.
So I hope you enjoyed the show. There's a lot of things going on in the area. Make sure you go to the Mystic Outdoor Art Festival because you'll have a good time there. We'll see you at the next one.